The dimly lit room was filled with the soft hum of the ceiling fan as Fayan lay on the bed, trying to rest. At 6 months pregnant, her body was weak, and the doctor's strict instruction were to remain on bed rest for the sake of the baby. She spent most of her time in bed, her energy drained, her body aching, but her mind always thinking of Jungkook. Tonight, exhaustion has finally lulled her into a light sleep when a loud, angry voice pierced through the silence. Jungkook. Fine's eyes fluttered open as she heard him speaking harshly over the phone. His voice, sharp and filled with frustration, sent a wave of anxiety crashing over her. He was yelling, almost cursing. It wasn't uncommon for Jungkook to be stressed about work, but this felt different. The intensity of his tone made her heart race. Maybe something is wrong with his business, she thought, trying to convince herself that this was just another bad day for him. Determined to lift his mood, she slowly pushed herself up, carefully not to strain too much. Walking was already difficult, and every step felt like a challenge, but she wanted to comfort him. She took slow, deliberate step towards the study table where Jungkook sat, his back to her, gripping his phone tightly. A soft smile formed on her lips as she placed her hands gently over his eyes, her voice light and filled with love. Guess who's here? And why are you so tense, baby? She cooked, hoping to bring him back from whatever darkness was consuming him. But instead of the warm response she expected, she felt his hand grab hers hard. Before she could react, he forcefully pushed them away and shoved her aside with an anger she have never seen before. Can't you see I'm walking? He snapped, his voice cold, distant, almost unrecognizable. The force of his push sent her stumbling back. The sudden jolt against her stomach made her grasp. Pain slowed through her body as she fell to the floor, her hands instinctively wrapping around her belly. A sharp, unbearable fear seized her heart. The baby! Tears welled in her eyes as she struggled to process what had just happened. Jungkook had never been this harsh before. She knew he was busy. She knew he was under pressure, but this was too much. She clutched her stomach, panic rising in her throat. Is my baby okay? The thought terrified her. She couldn't think straight, couldn't breathe. A sob tore from her lips as tears streamed down her face. Jungkook's expression shifted for a moment, guilt flickering in her dark eyes. But instead of rushing to her side, he clenched his jaw and stormed out of the room, his anger still clouding his judgment. The sound of the doors shutting echoed in the silence, leaving Vian on the floor, trembling, broken, and alone. Moments later, footsteps rushed toward her. A few walkers Jungkook had sent burst in, concern etched on their face. They hurried to lift her up, placing her back on the bed as gently as possible. But no amount of comfort could erase the betrayal she lived. She understood he was busy. She understood he was stressed. But what if something happened to their baby? The thought haunted her, her sobs filling the room as she lay there, feeling more alone than ever. The next morning, Vine woke up feeling sore, her hand instinctively raising on her belly. The pain from last night's fall was still there, a dull ache that made her anxious. She couldn't shake the fear that something might have happened to the baby. She turned her head slightly, expecting, hoping to see Jungkook by her side, but the bed next to her was empty. Her heart clenched. A soft knock on the door interrupted her thoughts. The maid hesitated and worried stepped inside. Ma'am, should I bring you some breakfast? She asked. Vian swallowed the lump in her throat and nodded. Yes, please. And Jungkook? Where is he? The maid lowered her gaze. Sir left early this morning. He asked us to take care of you. Vian's finger tightened around the blanket. He left without even checking on her, without making sure she was okay after what happened. A tear slipped down her cheek, but she quickly wiped it away. She couldn't cry. Not again. Minutes later, the maid returned with a tray of food. Vian barely touched it. Her mind was occupied with thoughts of Jungkook. She wanted to confront him, but at the same time she feared his reaction. Was he still angry? Did he even care? The day passed in a blur. She stayed in bed, lost in her thoughts, waiting for him. Has turned into evening, and finally she heard the front door open. Jungkook was home. Her heart pounded as she waited, listening to his footsteps approaching the bedroom. The door creaked open, and there he was, his expression unreadable, his eyes dark with exhaustion. He stood in the doorway, staring at her. He stared back. An unbearable silence stretched between them. Then finally Vine spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. Jungkook, do you even care anymore? Jungkook's breath hitched as he heard those words. Guilt weighed on his chest, making it hard for him to even meet her eyes. He had been cruel, heartless even, and the sight of Vian lying there, hurt and vulnerable, shattered something inside him. He took a hesitant step forward. Vian, But she looked away, turning her back to him, refusing to hear his excuse. For the next few days, Jungkook tried everything to make it up to her. He brought her favorite flowers, prepared meals himself, and even stayed by her side, silently waiting for her to acknowledge him. But she remained distant, her heart too wound to heal so easily. One evening, as she sat on the balcony, staring at the sky, Jungkook kneeled beside her. He gently took her hand in his voice barely above a whisper. I was wrong. I hurt you. I should have never let my anger control me like that. Vine sighed, closing her eyes. Do you even realize how scared I was? How much I thought I was going to lose our baby, Jungkook? I don't know if I can forgive you this time. A tear slipped down his cheek as he held on to her hands tighter. Please, Vine, give me one chance. I swear I will never let you feel like this again. I will be the husband you deserve, the father of our baby deserves. His sincerity broke the last of Vian's wall. She let out a shaky breath and finally met his gaze. You hurt me, Jungkook, but I still love you. Just don't make me regret this. Relief washed over him as he pulled her into a gentle embrace, carefully not to her. I love you so much, Vine. I promise from now on I'll prove it every single day. From that moment, Jungkook made it his mission to shower Vine with love and care. He never let stress take over his emotions again, always putting her and their baby first. Days turned into weeks, and with each passing moment, Vian slowly began to trust him again.